body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
I don't know who he is, but he's burned.
Ever since the 1978 release of Halloween, studios have tried to replicate the formula and success of the John Carpenter classic. Since then, we've gotten 3 major franchises featuring Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger. All have their loyal followers. While Jason and Freddy have taken cues from Michael, don't let fans of the Halloween franchise fool you. Michael isn't completely original an idea. While the franchises have all borrowed from one another over time,
I think we better stop. Please?
Stop here, I want to pack a cigarette. I said stop the goddamn car! I want to pack a cigarette!
all 3 are guilty of prolonging and stretching the life of certain horror tropes.
Somebody there?
I know you're out there.
Hello? Hello?
Now that we've shown that none of these franchises are wholly original or perfect, here is CP's ranking of the big 3, all 31 films, ranked.
Hello one, hello all, welcome to my contribution to the Scream Stream 31 on 31 ranking. Ranking Freddy, Michael, and Jason's franchises top to bottom, or starting at the bottom and ending up at the top. If you're one of the first people to watch this, you'll realize that this video is nowhere near the 31st Halloween. Had a bit of a personal emergency, had a medical mishap, if you will, the last week of October. I had to kind of deal with that. I'm even still not 100%, but just be thankful that you're getting this for an American holiday. It's not Halloween, but happy Thanksgiving. My number 31, and I'm the only person to have this movie this low. Everybody else has a different pick for their bottom. Halloween Resurrection, if only because of the fact that they disparage Michael Myers with Busta Rhymes' character, which Busta Rhymes' character as a whole is just cringeworthy. But the fact that they have Busta Rhymes do so much against the person that we're supposed to be afraid of, it just kind of neutralizes.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
It breaks down all those fears and this guy that we're supposed to be afraid of and run from. Because Busta Rhymes has this Jackie Chan moment, it takes away everything that you've built up to that moment. The Michael Myers character from there forth can't be respected in the same fashion. And I think that really hurts the film itself when your big baddie is disrespected in that manner. There's 1,000 things that have been said about this movie that you can check any one of our videos at this point. But it's my least favorite film of all 3 franchises. Which my number 30, of course, is everybody else's bottom, which is Freddy's Dead.
Every town has an Elm Street.
Cody had an interesting argument that the same thing that I'm saying about Michael Myers in Resurrection is basically what happens in Freddy's Dead. But I would argue the difference being that the whole movie is kind of disparaging to Freddy Krueger. The character himself, Freddy Krueger, is a bit of a cartoon, but that's that film. It's a bit of a cartoon. Forgive the pun. I don't know why I'm defending this. It's the second from bottom. The film's terrible.
Now I'm playing with power.
But the disparaging notion of Freddy versus Michael Myers in Resurrection, Freddy assists in the self-mockery.
Read graphics.
Whereas Michael Myers is still playing it straight. Freddy Krueger in Freddy's Dead he's kind of the environment is completely different. But still, terrible movie. Really, just nothing noteworthy about it. Why have it in space? Why have it take place in the future? Just a whole bunch of why. Anything that's halfway decent in that movie has been done before. I don't know if you saw the clip before, but the best kill in the movie, the frozen face thing, is a temperature mirrored kill from the Halloween 2 hot tub kill, which these series just kind of rip off one another. But Jason X, there's really the only original thing about Jason X is the fact that it's in space, and if that's what we're going to be doing for originality's sake, yeah, no thank you. Number 28, Halloween 5. Ugh. To go from Halloween 4, which really was quite promising, and then just kind of abandon everything that you set up in that movie, and then to come out with Halloween 5, it's from 4 to 5, Friday the 13th and Halloween, they both have big steps down. Halloween 5, another notable thing about part 5 is the fact that Loomis is like really creepy. He's like all in everybody's personal space, just like really, really touchy. How about that? That, of course, that song was first performed by Gary Glitter. Yep, I brought a Gary Glitter reference to this franchise ranking. You could feel even weirder now. Number 27, A Nightmare on Elm Street 5. We're keeping up with the 5 theme here. It looks really neat. A lot of the way things are set up in this movie are a lot of potential here, but the whole dream child thing, does anybody learn? A Nightmare on Elm Street 5 and Halloween 5, I think, came out around the same time. And I guess this was the experiment with kids portion of these franchises. But nothing really great that sticks out, and that's why a bunch of these you're just gonna get me saying, yeah, it's not that good, or it's okay. Or we're getting close to that portion of the list where I'm not gonna have much to say. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Dream Child. Ugh. Number 26, Jason Takes Manhattan, or Jason Goes to Manhattan, or Jason's Lovely Boat Ride. I guess maybe I forgive this movie a little bit more than everybody else. Everybody else has a little bit lower on their list. It's just bad. Why did he melt and become a kid? Like, what kind of toxic sludge makes people into children? And well, Friday the 13th got really fucking weird towards the end, and this was it for Paramount. You know, way to say goodbye. Ugh. Ugh. Number 25, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, which I had this a lot higher in my memory list, and then rewatched it, and I was like, oh no, this isn't very good at all. One of the moments in the film is when they kind of get lost and go around in circles. I thought that was really neat, and that's the only thing I really remembered about the movie. And then I forgot that there's all this other shit wrapped around it, and I forgot about the fact that they had a bootleg Patricia Arquette character. You know, that's not incredibly offensive to the series, but the movie's just not great. Not great. Now I realize why I only remembered one part from that movie. Number 24, Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. How many movies are there? There's 2 movies on this list that don't feature Freddy, Michael, and Jason, and this is one of the 2. Go Roy. If you like tits and hits, this is your movie. It's Cody calls the Friday the 13th franchise a set of B movies, which it really it is. But this Friday the 13th Part 5 especially is some Cinemax type, you know, nudity and violence. which is fine, but you know, it's a copycat of the first movie as far as story's concerned. Me as an adult, I want a little bit more from my movies than just kills and nudity, which you wonder why I still watch Friday the 13th by that logic, but I can't answer that. I realize it's hypocrisy personified, but fuck it. This is my list, not yours. 23, Halloween 6, the Paul Rudd one. Towards the middle there, they all got weird, didn't they? And man, the Thorn trilogy ends on a question mark, on a what the fuck. The Man in Black pulling the strings, just it got a little high concept for a slasher movie, but again, we're pretty close to the 2/3 mark. It's a nice departure. If you're not too married to the Michael Myers lineage, as a Friday the 13th fan, it's a nice little change of pace. But I can see why people are like, yeah, hashtag not my Michael. Number 22, A Nightmare on Elm Street, 2010. You know, they tried to course correct from the comedic slapstickiness of the last couple of Nightmare on Elm Streets, and they kind of over course corrected. It's a little too bleak, a little too dark. You know, you can you know, talk about the fact that Freddy was fucked up to kids and not really hit it right on the head as to what he was doing. Let our imagination run with it. You don't have to tell us he was a kid toucher. That, you know, no, there's nothing noteworthy about it except, you know, Jackie Earle Haley did a fantastic job for what he was given, and it's a shame because he's gonna, like, he'll never play the role again, and it'd be nice to see what he could do with maybe a little bit of a lighter script and lighter surroundings and a lead actress that gives half a shit about what she's doing. Number 21, Halloween 4. This is probably really low for some of you. So I rewatched Halloween 1 through 10, only this recent, like September to October, to get ready for Halloween 2018. And perhaps the fact that I watched 5 right after 4 and they're sort of connected might be weighing it down. I can't explain. It is good. I remember watching it thinking it was good and kind of being turned off that they don't continue that story. Mask is ridiculous looking, and they really blew a chance to have What's-His-Cock from Rocky IV deliver a duplicate line about Michael Myers.
And what results are those?
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
I think the fact that the story just kind of dicks out, like that was a really neat ending. You really could have gone places with that, but why do that? You got to have the Man in Black control things, and oh man, we get introduced to Tina in part 5. Talk about scrubbing everything you just did the movie before. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. This is the one where they gave him freedom. And man, you want to know what Rob Zombie with freedom looks like?
Fuck! 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 Fuck!
Wow.
Yeah, they kind of blue balls you there in the beginning and kind of tease that it's going on the same route as the original Halloween 2, but then take a turn and twist it. And I'm again, these are slashers. They're not supposed to be too heady, high concept. The white horse shit, just what the fuck? Just what the fuck? And Rob Zombie needs to write things and have somebody else. No, excuse me. Rob Zombie needs to direct things and have somebody else write them, because he's got a decent enough eye. It's just, ugh. Another high concept movie. If I wasn't so married to, in love with the Jason Voorhees storyline and lineage, perhaps I could understand and appreciate this movie more. But the fact that this movie retcons a bunch of things about the movies that I loved prior to this, it's a little funky. Jason has a sister now, and now there's a special knife that can kill him, and Creighton Duke has been on his tail for 8 movies, but lets 100 plus people die. And now Jason's a heart that commands other people to take a bite out of it and possesses their soul, and it's really well made. Adam Marcus quite infamously defended his movie in the Facebook group Killer Flicks, and I agree with everything he says. It's just, it's incredibly well made. The special effects are quite nice. It's just, as somebody who likes Pamela and Jason, just running around killing people, I don't want too much story in my Friday the 13th. And just to slam us with so much new stuff and retconning, just a lot of stuff. I can see why somebody else, a non-Friday the 13th fan, would appreciate this more. I'm a Friday the 13th fan, and just not for me. Number 18, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Yeah, that first half an hour is interesting.
Here are the nominees for Best Original Screenplay.
Bitch, I will crawl over there and I will skull fuck the shit out of you.
If you take away the fucking domestic bullshit in that first half an hour, everything after that's pretty decent. Although it's pretty Rob Zombie's copycat version of the original Halloween, except he front loads a bunch of Southern fried, skull fuck you. Was that necessary? Is that what we needed? We needed that backstory for Michael Myers? Really? Number 17, Friday the 13th, Part 7. A lot of the famous sleeping bag kill comes from this movie. Another, I wouldn't call this high concept. They were going places with it. Jason's now a zombie. Why not have him go against a Carrie type character? Original ideas abound in this franchise, but yeah, we're in the middle here. You could do worse, you could do better. 16, A New Nightmare, and boy, Wes Craven was really dusting himself off for Scream, huh? I don't know if Nightmare on Elm Street fans, how they feel about this. Again, as somebody who's a Friday the 13th guy, it's really interesting to see this concept. Why couldn't Jason X be something like this? The fourth wall, the meta-ness of the movie are really neat. And I haven't seen this in a while. You really think I should refresh myself and watch everything, but 10 Halloween movies over the course of 3 weeks is all I'm doing. We're in the middle. Go fuck yourself. Number 15, the original Halloween 2. Neat. This has nothing to do with the movie itself. Why not have Halloween 2018 take place after Part 2? You kind of slice up 1 and 2, which take place in the same night. Which, I mean, I guess I understand, because you don't want Michael Myers getting shot in the eyes and blown up and set on fire for 2018, because you want to save that ending where he gets set on fire. Number 14, Freddy vs. Jason. See, now this is like a perfect personification of what's good about all of these franchises. And with the volume turned up, and it's just a fun ride. And that's what these movies should be. Don't get too crazy. I don't need Inception for my Friday the 13th. Just 2 slashers killing a bunch of teenagers, and oh look, they're gonna kill each other now. Fun, a little over the top with the gore, but good for you, Ronnie Yu. I also really quite enjoy the flashback, although it's a dream, I guess, where they show Crystal Lake with Jason as a boy. That was really neat to see somebody actually show us Jason being picked on, and that whole portion in the middle of the movie where Jason gets fucked with, and you get to experience him drowning, although they imply that Freddy is the reason that he drowned. It was just neat to see that. I kind of geeked out at that moment, but a fun time otherwise. Number 13, and I didn't plan this. I have a Friday the 13th movie for number 13. The 2009 remake, which the more I talk to people like Cody and Brian, I think Lindsay has it pretty high too, the more I realize that this movie is quite adored by those non-Friday fans. I'll give you everything before that title sequence. That fucking Jason's just absolutely menacing in that movie. Everything before you see the title screen in 2009 is awesome. Then the title screen happens and you get introduced to this wacky bunch of characters, and oh boy, all of these movies have, you know, a deplorable, annoying character here and there. But Friday the 13th, 2009 has like 3 or 4 of them. And people talk about Trent and, you know, whatever. I just can't. It's like the reverse of Rob Zombie's Halloween. The beginning is just so awesome, and everything after that just doesn't match it. Like Halloween, the beginning is just so fucking strange, but everything after that's really kind of neat. We're 13 out of 31. I don't know why I'm trying to defend myself here, but I quite enjoy the beginning. I just wish that tone was stretched out, and the seriousness of it. It's good. It's good. Could be better. No Trent. Can we have a female that is not a 10 in this movie, please? Yeah, you're gonna start questioning my sexuality now, and that's understandable. Number 12, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the gay one. Yeah, the most, other than the 2010 remake, the most dark and menacing Freddy's been. Also really, really heavy with the gay subtext. There's a couple of moments in the movie where they just take liberties with Freddy and what's been set up for the character and the rules of the universe, but other than, you know, him popping out at a party full of teenagers, what are they, all asleep? I mean, I'm nitpicking here. We're at the top half of the list. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's quite good. It's quite good, and yeah, if you're homosexual, this is your movie. It's not outright there, but it's there. Number 11, Friday the 13th, Part 3. Richard Brooker, brilliant Jason. This is where we get Jason in the mask. The characters are kind of shit, although if you go back and watch Friday the 13th, most of the characters are kind of shit. There's moments to cling to. Friday the 13th, with the exception of maybe 3, maybe 4 movies, is about Jason killing a bunch of people. It's not about, oh, I wonder if Bobby and Jill are gonna make it. Friday the 13th aren't those movies, unfortunately. And again, I can't explain why this series is so highly regarded by me, but alas, the scene at the end where he's banging on the glass and he's, you know, her nightmare or whatever. It really fucked me up as a kid, and watching it today, it just looks a little comical. He hisses in that scene. So strange. Looking at it with a different eye, it's quite comical, but otherwise known as the spine for Halloween 2018. Yeah, Laurie Strode. If Laurie Strode was more like Laurie Strode in Halloween H2O in Halloween 2018, man, I'd really like to see that movie. But I keep doing this. I keep comparing other movies to the movie I'm currently talking about. You know, this is the first movie to come out after Scream hit. This is the first movie of any franchise. Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th were kind of dead at this moment in time. Scream had just come out. There's soundtrack cues. There's parts of the Scream score are present in Halloween H2O. But this perfectly encapsulates late 90s horror, and good for Halloween throwing their hat into the ring at that perfect time. This is a perfect time capsule movie for that period, and it's well done. Fucking 10. We're in the top third. I don't know why I'm defending movies at this point. Number 9, Friday the 13th Part 2, Baghead Jason, the best final girl, Ginny.
Jason, Mother is talking to you!
Neat to realize, slowly but surely you realize Jason isn't too sharp. There's a moment where he breaks the axe or whatever. Kind of doofy in this movie, but still, like I said before, Friday the 13th movies aren't about the characters, they're about the killer. This movie, you give a shit more about Ginny, and that says something about this rather thin franchise. Number 8, Halloween 2018. Yeah, it was. I've only seen it once, and unlike everybody else, I've actually had time to sit on it and let it simmer in my thought process a bit. There's two major moments in the movie that I kind of scratch my head at. The ending, the Halloween 2 ending, is one of them, and there's this, not to spoil, I guess I spoil the ending, but not to spoil the big twist. The big twist in the movie is a little troubling. Also, the more I think about it, the more I think they set that up, that twist, but still doesn't say anything about the fucking twist itself. I don't care if you set it up. Why do that? Laurie's a little PTSD, but everything else surrounding this movie, the most beautifully shot of any of these movies. The cinematography is incredible. There's that scene where the bus flips over. The lighting, everything about that scene is just awesome. There's a one take, a one shot that goes pretty long. I don't think we've seen that, or at least at that distance in a movie like these. A lot about the movie is noteworthy and really good. They're just two head scratchers, but I'm really excited to see it again. And again, when you think about everything else that we're talking about here, Halloween 18 really knocked out of the park. And with that said, I can't wait to see Nightmare on Elm Street 2020. And if Friday the 13th, if they can get their fucking heads out of the court system, who knows, maybe Friday the 13th, 2022. Will I even be alive for that? Number 7, Halloween 3. See, this is another movie that doesn't feature our prominent killers, our big three. But rewatching this, I was shocked at how much I really liked it. I didn't remember it so fondly, but rewatching it this past month, 2 months ago, I quite enjoy it. It's like a bootleg Cronenberg movie. If you're looking for Michael Myers, this is not your movie. It's a complete departure. Yeah, the Silver Shamrock shit is a neat tale. Kind of wish that they expanded on that story, but I'm pretty sure some of you Halloween fans are like, fuck that movie, in the same way that I'm like that for Jason Goes to Hell. But I'm not that big a Halloween fan, so I was kind of intrigued by this. All the movies shouldn't be called Halloween. Whatever. Number 6, Friday the 13th, 1980. Lee will tell you it's groundbreaking. Brian will tell you it's shit. The first real prominent female killer, Pamela. What else can I say about this movie that you want a nice healthy argument between Brian and I? Go check out Scream from I don't know, mid-November, early November. We kind of have it out for a couple minutes about the terrible nature of Friday the 13th. It's number 6 on my list. I quite enjoy it. It's not good by film standards, by slasher standards. You know, it's dark, not incredibly acted, but it's a Friday the 13th movie. Name me some other ones. It was done cheap. Could they have used a light stand or two that I have here that are worth $50? Yeah, they probably could have. But I'm not focused on that. I could be nostalgizing hard here. A lot of people think it's this or number 1 for Nightmare on Elm Street fans, and it's one of the best. The Nightmare on Elm Street series. You look to these franchises for different things, and the Nightmare on Elm Street series, the special effects and stuff that's done with the kills, just second to none. And this movie just it's that plus a pretty decent story and really a really good time. Usually the shitty Nightmare on Elm Streets, the kills are creative, but that's it. 3 and 1 are that and then some. Yes, if this were a list of films based on quality and not my opinion and taste, Halloween would be number 1, Nightmare on Elm Street would be number 2, and then there'd be a 29-way tie for 3rd. But it's not. This is my list. This is my favorites. What I go to most. What's best to me. And Halloween 1978 is my 4th favorite. Nothing else can be said about this movie at this point. It's great. It really is. Without this movie, we don't have anything else we're talking about. Which number 3 is A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. Again, with these classics, what else can be said? Really great movie, great modern take on the Mr. Sandman story, fucked up horror take on it. Freddy, perhaps at his best, somewhere between 2 and 3. You have a perfect blend of Freddy, and that's here in part 1. Freddy's great, the kills are great, so inventive and creative for no budget. And you don't see that it was done on the cheap in the final product, and that says something. For as much as Friday the 13th looks cheap, Nightmare on Elm Street doesn't look cheap. It's quite creative, quite inventive. Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, the beginning of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. For as much as I poo-poo the Thorn trilogy, the Tommy Jarvis trilogy are bookended by the 2 best movies in the Friday the 13th franchise. Again, I'm a Friday the 13th guy. I think you could probably figure out at this point what number 1 is. Great Joseph Zito in horror. He knows what he's doing, and that's quite clear here. And Tom Savini back doing the dirty work, and man, it's just perfect marriage. A lot of people have this as their favorite Friday the 13th, and I really can't argue it, but I have a different one. Is Jason Lives. If you have any familiarity with me, the channel, me on just in general, I've talked about this to great lengths. Yes, there's a bit. It's humorous. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but that if you talk to me for 5 minutes, that's me. This is my movie personified. A little horror, a little jokes, nothing taken too seriously. I talk about it. I have a Savage Cinema video on Jason Lives. But that is it. My list is complete. Apologies for being so late. Blame Burger King. blame my gallbladder, blame the New York hospital system, blame anything but me. No, I'm happy and privileged to have you come back even at this late date. I'm thankful for anybody who's interested in my list. It's just my ranking. It means nothing. I should be talking about Halloween, but if you're watching this 6 months in the future, this video is supposed to come out on Halloween. Didn't. It's coming out right in time for Thanksgiving, so that's why I'm being so thankful. Yeah, thank you so much, and have a day.
Yeah.